So what we need to do now is that let's read the question again. The company production capacity is not fully utilized in the current year, and the three possible strategies are under consideration. He said A strategy involves reducing the unit selling price on all units sold with a okay, the consequential effect of the following on the following sorry, on the volume of sales, on the volume of the what of sales
Hmm.
of sales. Now multiply by what they said. The detailed effect of strategy is as follows. We have strategy A, B, and C, and there's reduction for each side. That is, they are making some reduction in selling price. So the strategy A, they adopted was 2% to be reduced from the selling price. For B, they have 5%. For C, they have 7%. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I've been so sorry. Expected increase in
Oh,
weekly
Mr. Jesse, you are
uh,
loud.
so expected increase in weekly sales volume over budget. Now we need to understand this question very well. And the company does not hold inventory of finished goods. The
Good.
company does not hold what inventory on what finished
Finish
goods.
good.
So what are we going to do now? What is our major concern here? Our major concern here. So let's rub mine together. Let's rub mine together.
The we are moving to the required number.
Yes, yes, yes. So you are required to.
The selling price per unit of the product for the current year. Selling price.
You know, to get our selling price before, or let me
Hmm.
say our contribution before is what selling price minus variable
Selling
cost.
price minus variable cost.
Selling price our what variable cost.
Variable cost.
But I guess in some questions, if the selling price as a selling price was not given, the selling price was not given in some question, there is one formula that someone can make use of, if I can remember. There's one formula someone can make use of if the selling price is not given, was not, maybe was omitted. So it can correct. I don't even know. I think let me check myself before. Sorry.
Okay.
But on in this note now, okay, the variable cost was not given. Oh, okay. You can see now.
Selling price none. Variable cost none.
So how can we get our selling price
Selling
in
price.
this matter? Now, the
Um.
cost.
Okay.
Okay. You can talk, man.
And me, I was even thinking there's even nothing like sales here. Abi, it's only
Now,
in
there's one
fact.
simple, uh, what's it called here? There's one simple,
Formula.
yeah, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, for coming. Wow. Sorry,
Yes.
I need to download this. Why is it not showing? Sorry, it's not showing. Okay. Okay. Sorry, a minute, ma. Okay. I'm so sorry. I want
Okay.
to set up something. Okay. So we have it now. Sorry. Okay. So here we are. What's happening? Sorry. I'm so sorry, ma. I need to set up something.
Yes, sir. All right.
Okay. So we are here now. We're here now.
Okay.
We're here now. We're here now. Now, you know, if I want us to remember something. Anytime we are calculating, oh, thank you, Holy Spirit. Okay. Uh, so anytime we are calculating, um, or making any calculating anything under CVP, so we need to be mindful of the formulas, how we arrive at one, how we arrive at others. Eyes me. So now, how we arrive at um this particular information now, how we arrive at co- uh, this contribution per unit. It's
Mm.
because we what we minus as A now, abi. A, we need to calculate
Mm.
our selling price.
Yes.
Our selling price per unit. Now, and in the question, how do we arrive at how do they arrive at contribution per unit? How? Is by what? By what? By contribution per unit. That is what?
Mm.
Selling price minus what? Variable cost. Abi? Now,
Yeah.
in the question again, we have fixed cost back, and also we have profit, and we have contribution to sales ratio or contribution margin ratio. Contribution
Imagine.
contribution sales ratio or margin ratio. So how did I arrive at this one? How? So that is what? That is contribution per unit divided by what? Sales. I me. Now, in this formula
Yes.
now, anytime I don't mean we have variable costs in these questions, we can make use of this particular one to get our selling price. Are you ma?
Yes, sir.
We can make use of this to get our selling price. Now, going back, we have contribution per sale. We have been given this as what? So they gave us this as 8 naira, and they give us this what? 0.40%. Sorry, 0.40. Where am I writing, sir? 0.40. That's in percentage now. Now, definitely, we can get our selling price. So, our selling price now is is something that we need to know. Now, in mathematics, if y is like this, y equal to x over v, and in the question, we need to look for what? V, where y is what?
Okay.
Is 2. and S is 1. I used to find V.
Mm.
I used to so how can we find V?
Okay.
So we find V in what way? We find V by what? By um so V equal to what? Equal to sorry, is equal to we have so equal to 1, which is X over what? Over V. Abi?
Yeah.
Since we are looking for V. Normally, 1 X over V will give us Y, Abi? And now
Yes.
they have given us Y, which is 2. And we are told to find what? Our V. What do? We what? We cross multiply, Abi? In the mathematical aspect. So that means
Yes.
that, let me use pen here so you can understand here. So that means we what? We can multiply by what? By saying 2 equal to 1 over V. Now what? Can multiply by saying this. Since we are looking for what? V, Abi? So V will
Mm.
now become to what? 2V, sorry, 2V equal to what? 1. I ask me. So
Mm.
Our V now equal to what? 1 over 2, because why?
Mm.
We divide both sides by 2. 2 we cancel 2 and 1.
Mm.
So this is how we get our V. Now let's assume that this V. Now let's assume that this our 2 here is our
Mm.
contribution sales ratio,
Okay.
and our 1 here is our contribution per unit, and our SV here is our what? Sales. And to get our contribution ratio is what? You divide contribution sales divided by what? By you divide contribution per ratio per unit divided by what? Sales, to get your contribution sales ratio. And they have given us what? Contribution to sales ratio already.
Okay.
Are you with me now? So that means that since
Yes.
our contribution ratio has been given, which is what? Which is this 2. We are assuming now. Are you with me now? 2.
Mm.
And before we divide 1 over V to get our 2 before. But now that 2 have been this Y have been given, and we are told to find this V. This V now stands for our sales ratio, our sales per unit. The contribution
Mm.
per unit have been given. The next thing we can do now is that we was so let me now come back here. Sorry. So what we now need to do is this. Baba, so what we need to do is this, that is that what? Contribution. Oh my god. Okay. That means what? Contribution sales ratio, or let me say CSR equal to what? Equal to contribution per unit, abi? All over what? All
Mm.
over sales. And contribution ratio have been given, abi?
Yes.
As what? 40%.
Yeah.
Abi, now equal to what?
Yes.
Equal to contribution per unit, which is 8 naira. All over what? All over X, which is unknown. Are you now?
Yes.
So now, to get this particular one now, to get this our X, our sales now, what will we do? We cross multiply. Are you with me? So that means that to get our sales here, we what? We divide contribution contribution per unit divided by what? Contribution
Mission solution.
sales ratio. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So that means our answer now is equal to what? Equal to 8 divided by what? 40%, 0.4.
0.4.
That means our sales is what 20. Our sales now is equal to what 20 naira. So our S is now what? So we have 20 naira here. So this is our A. This is what we are told to do. Sorry. Okay. Need to erase this thing. Okay. So now we have this now. We have settled that A. Hope you understand, ma.
Yes, sir.
Now, what we need to do is this. What we need to do is this. We are now told that generally our sales unit per unit for the product for the current year is 20 per unit. I didn't mean to say that our total unit, our total sales now, we now know what to do, but this is just say what sales unit per what sales per unit. So that means you have what sales per unit here. You have sales per unit here. Sales per unit here. So we can relate now. So per unit per unit. Number B now. They said the weekly sales in units. Weekly sales in what? In units
Unit
and value
value.
for the current year. You can see, ma. Now,
Uh-huh.
the weekly sales and weekly in units. Weekly sales in units and weekly sales in what? In now, the only way we can do this is now, since we have to calculate, since we are given our weekly sales in units, definitely the same way we calculated our sales per unit. Right, ma? The same way.
Yes, sir.
So that means that we need to calculate our what is it called? Our the contribution at the end of the month of the week. What is the contribution?
Okay.
What is the total contribution? What is the weekly contribution for uh the company? And in the question,
Okay.
we are given that we have contribution per unit and total weekly fixed cost and weekly profit. Total what? Weekly profit and
Fixed
weekly
cost.
what's it called?
Fixed
Weekly
cost.
profit.
Fixed
Now,
cost.
if we are calculating the total sales required and we are given a target of profit, are you with me?
Hmm.
That means that in that week they are expected to make that profit of what of 22,000 naira. So that means there's a target of the profit, and that is what
Okay.
fixed cost plus that profit all over. Now, if we are working with what? Working with units, that means we multiply it by what? Total units. Are you with me? But if you are working with sales,
Uh-huh.
that means we want to divide it by cost of sales ratio. Are you with me, ma?
Uh-huh.
Ma?
I'm
Okay, now. So
hmm.
now, to get this now, our contribution, total contribution now. Let me see target. The target given. equal to what? Equal to our weekly fixed cost plus weekly profit that we have here. Right, so that means we have 10,000 plus what? 22,000.
1,000.
So after I don't score the what? 10,000
32.
plus 22 plus 22. That's what? We have 32, Abi.
32. Yes.
Now these are our weekly contribution we have. And we are calculating what? In value. In value now. In value. So that means that in value now, the total contribution that we have, which is fixed cost plus, is that what? That is total contribution. Total contribution divided by what? Divided by CSR. That is what? Cost. Sorry, contribution sales ratio. Right, man. So now in what we have, we
Yes,
have
sir.
this. We have this now. 32 divided by our contribution ratio is what? Is 40, Abi.
Yes.
So that means
0.4.
0.40. Remember, 0.40. That's 80. So in value now, we have what? 80,000 what? Naira in what? In value.
In value.
That's our cost of sales in value. Are you with me now?
Yes, sir.
That's our total sales in value. Good. Now, said sales in units. Sales in units again. We said sales, weekly sales in units and in value. Now, in units now, you can see that. I'm coming. This is in units. In units. Definitely, this is our overall unit sales for the year, the total value. Now, to convert it to what? To Naira now, to unit. We have gotten our sales per unit, which is 20 per unit, Abi? 20 Naira per unit.
Mm.
So that means
Mm.
that in a week they sold what? 80,000 naira in value. But we want to know per
Yes.
unit of that value. Are you with me?
Okay.
So
Mm.
that means that our total was in value is what? Is this divided by what? 20. Because 20 is our per unit of sales.
Okay.
So we are converting it to a unit. It's like
Okay.
want to convert 100 100 unit, make one, so all those things. It's like we are converting a
Mm.
kilogram to gram. I mean, I don't know how to do it, gram to
Mm.
kilogram, all those things like that. So you must add the
I
unit of the
understand.
one. Do you understand, ma?
Yes, sir. Very well.
So that means we have 40. 4,000 in what? In unit.
In unit.
Sorry, let me quickly do what I like doing. Sorry, I like doing this, So in unit, so we have this. This question B. Are we getting it, ma?
Yes, sir.
Now we are now told that current year break-even point in unit and break-even point in value. Just remember the break-even point formula. Fixed cost over what? Contribution unit per unit, abi? In value is what?
Yes.
Fixed cost over what? contribution
Income
sales
margin
rate.
ratio.
Now, the sales. The sales is now what? It says see current current year break in what units value in units and in what in value. So let's do in units now. You're in value now. Anyone? So in value is what? Fixed cost divided by what? Fixed cost divided by CSR. Are you seeing that? So
Yeah.
what
Hmm.
are fixed costs now? In the question is 10, have you?
Our fixed.
These are fixed
Yeah,
costs.
10,000. Hmm.
10,000. So well, our CSR in the question 40, have you?
Yeah. 2.4 thousand.
So that is what? This is in value. This is in value.
5,000.
That's 25,000 in value. That is Naira. Are you getting this one?
Yes, sir.
But the question is saying that it's a year budget, it's a year something, and they said the current year break-even point. That means we need to sum total all our whatever we get now, multiply it by the weeks in the year, because this particular one is a weekly what break-even value,
Yes.
and they're talking about the current year. That means we just 1 year, and we have oh God, man, sorry. 52 weeks, have you? Or 44 or which one?
Sir?
Is it 54 or 51?
Okay,
54.
share. It should be 52 weeks.
Okay, 52 weeks, make one year. Okay, hold on.
Hmm.
So that means what? 25 multiplied by what? 52. That was like what 1.3
1.3.
in what in value. So in units now, in units, in units, what would be our unit? Break even point in units.
Hmm. Um.
Break even point in units.
Are you using the 4,000?
No,
Okay, units now. Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit.
that's what I'm saying. That's right. So that's what fixed cost, Abi.
Hmm. 10,000.
So then just fixed cost because in exam which our formula is very very important. Divided by contribution
Unit.
per unit per unit. So that means we have what 10,000. Sorry, 10,000 divided by what our contribution is what 8, Abi. So you can see
Yeah.
so that is one point
1 to 50.
1 to 15. So, but now, since this one, so we need to calculate it in what? In weeks. That's divided by what? Times multiplied by 5 2. That is what?
52.
562.
65,000.
65,000 units. Okay, but now in a nutshell, there are several ways. It's the same thing. Let's assume that this particular one is in value already. Are you with me? This
Okay.
amount is in value already. And we're talking about, like, if you are converting anything into 1 million to uh, $1 to naira. In naira is 1 naira. Is in naira right now is 770,000 naira. Sorry, in naira
Mm.
is 775 naira. For $1 make what? So that means that the value of this now is 5,000 naira, and we have the quantity of this particular thing. So if we can, let me just do. I want to know if you can get it. So that's 25 divided by our sales units per unit. That is 20. Abi. You can see we get the same
Mm.
thing. We can divide the break-even value that we get divided by the sales price per unit. So we get the break-even point in unit.
Mm.
Hello, man. You get it?
Yes, sir, I'm with you. I'm with you.
So that's that on that aspect. So I think we are done with that. So main D D part of it. D part. They said determine with a statement which of these the three strategies should be adopted by the company
Should be
to maximize
adopted.
weekly profit. Maximize is what? Weekly profit. Now
Profit.
let's go now. Let's go. With all this now, they have given us the reduction, and also they have given us the increment in sales volume.
Mm.
I mean,
Yes.
they're giving us increment in sales volume. Now, uh, let's go. Let's go. Now, the statement statement for the three strategies. Now, for strategy A, strategy A, I mean, okay, what happened now? Strategy A, what do we have? We have now the we are looking at something very much important here for strategy A and B. Okay, let's make it a tabular something because it's something that we need to. Strategy strategy A, strategy B, strategy C. So now for A, now we need to calculate the okay, we have gotten the sales per unit for all strategy at first. But out of this total, so they now decided to have some strategy, either to consider which one to use. Now, the budgeted selling price now that we have other time, or let me say the estimated selling price for A. everything is 20,000, 20 naira for this, for this, and the
Yes, sir.
volume for sales, which is the total unit at that time, at that time, 40 units at that time. So it's showing. So here is saying the weekly profits, not yearly now. Now. So
Yes.
that means that all the information of the units, we have 4,000 naira, 4,000 naira units. Let me use this. Let me use this particular so as to differentiate it from. Oh, so you have this. Now, in the question now said, they said, how, in what way? Sorry, they said we have the new price, because after everything now, they have reduced this particular selling price. Also, they
Mm.
reduce this particular unit. They are making up some strategy. Right? After all that we are calculating, so you now come up with a strategy. Okay, like in case, like a scientific analysis, what of if we reduce it with 2%? What of if we reduce it with 5%? What of if we reduce it by 7? What of if we increase the volume by 10? Are you getting it now?
Yes.
Now, for this reason now, we need to calculate that. Okay, for A, for A, strategy A. I'm looking at how to do strategy A. Now they said it was issued by with what? With how many percent?
Strategy here, 10%.
10. No, just
Reduce or increase?
two. Reduce.
Reduce, Abby,
2%.
2%.
So that means that we have what? Equal to 20. Uh, multiply by 1 minus how many percent? 0.02. Abi?
Mm. Yes.
We have 90%. So we can just put it here. 0.6. That is what the new selling price. Now for this, it was reduced with how many? Sorry, with how much? 5%. Abi?
Here, be facts.
Multiply by what? 1 minus 0.05. That's 19. So with this, it was reduced again with what?
7.
7. Sorry. 7. 80.6. Now, this also, they said there's expected increase weekly sales what volume. There's expected sales increase now of what? We have uh sales volume adjustment, or let's say adjustment. Okay, yeah, use new. So new sales volume or sales volume in units. So that's, we have this for multiply by what? It's increased. That's 1 plus. Right now. So since it's
Yes.
increased, 1 plus what? How many percent? 10, 10 Abi?
10%.
That's 440. This one too, 4,000 multiplied by what? 1 plus how many percent? 18 Abi?
18.
470. This one multiplied by what's this? 1 plus 25.
25.
Sorry, 0.25 528. So it is on this note that we now make use of this particular formation to now draft our profit. Sorry, I want to get my calculator. Sorry. Now, on this note, now we need to start our statement. Let's start our statement. We maintain this particular line as well. Start our statement. Now, we are now making use of this one now to navigate our statement. Our statement is to show the net profit, and we all know that stage. That's what. So selling sales now. For sales for A, are you with me, ma?
Yes, sir.
For sales for A now, we have what? The selling price now per what? Times the volume they sold.
Okay.
Are you with me, ma? So we navigate everything through. Navigate everything through. That is for strategies A, we what multiply the new, because this is now the new strategy. This is our budgeted
Yes.
one that we calculated. Are you with me? But
Mm.
this particular one now, they are the new one after the strategy that they make the assumption of the effect of this. But the initial one is the estimated one that we budgeted for. But they want to
Yes.
see if their strategy will work by having new selling price and new sales volume. I didn't mean we don't have this before. Are you with me, ma? We can just
Yeah.
multiply what this now, multiply by what? Multiply by this. Abi? But now we have addition and we have subtraction, we have increment of sales of volume and increment reduction in sales. So this will be, instead of 20% naira, it now reduces with 2% to 19. So instead of them producing 4,000, they now increase that. They increase that. But so what happened between that? That okay, they say maybe there is high demand of those goods, or maybe there is low. There's complaint based on the market research by the customer that okay, the price is too much. So and they discover that those are the goods that are superior good that the people cannot do without. So they have to increase the volume.
Mm.
So
Okay.
why they reduce the price? So this is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. So this is that we need to check on this as well. The same thing applicable to this. I said I just have to use just multiply everything through by pressing Control R, which will multiply it uh, from left to right. But if you are multiplying it downward, like want to multiply something downward, you press Control Y. So that one is a Z training. So
Mm.
now the next thing is what our variable cost. Have you
Yes.
less variable cost? But in the question, are we giving variable cost?
No.
So how do we get that? We need to get it. So to get our to calculate our workings now, let me see work. Ah, which is me. So workings now. Our variable cost now is equal to what? Now our variable cost. How do we get that? You know that our um, contribution is what? Selling price minus what? Variable cost. Now that we have selling price, now we have selling price. Our selling
Yeah.
price is what? Is 20, abi?
Yes.
And our contribution now is what? 8, abi?
Mm.
Now to get our
Yes.
variable cost now, which is on no. And with the formula of CP minus VP, so that means that to get our variable cost, we multiply what you minus this from minus contributions is minus what minus this. Yes, because to get our contribution before, we have to
Mm.
minus sales, abi we minus
Yes.
this sales
Variable cost.
minus variable cost to get our, you can
Yes.
see down. So that's how we need to get our. So definitely now we have variable cost as 12 units. So these 12 units now, this 12 naira per unit is what we need to use to multiply all our expected or new sales volume. Are you with me?
Okay.
So now we have
Yes.
this multiply by what? By this. Are you with me?
Yes.
So this particular one too, we can just use this formula. Oh, no, is there any? Sorry, okay. Absolute reference, but I don't want to use that. But we can use it. We are learning. So absolute reference is when you have this, you lock this particular one because all these are our major one. You lock it so you can drag it anytime you want to drag this. So the number will not. So that is multiplied by what? Multiplied by this. So that if you are dragging it, this particular thing will be dragging. So the row. Sorry, I'm now almost there to now. So no, this particular row. Hmm. No, it's an error. Okay, so we can now drag it together. So I have to change it. So you can see now. So change this now. So we have this for this, and we have this for this. I think.
Yes.
So definitely we can now get our contribution per unit. So what's our contribution now? Contribution is this minus what? So we have to calculate. So we have this. Did you get it, ma?
Yes, sir.
I want to try something. Maybe it's possible. I want to know maybe we are right. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. That was the whole contribution. That was the whole contribution. Yeah. I get it. I get it. That means, sorry. I want to try something new. So sorry for that. If we really get what we are doing, I want to try something. If it will work, and it will work. So that means that we are correct with what we are doing. Fine. It's fine. It's correct. It's correct. It's correct. It's correct. So I deduct this new selling price from the variable cost to get the new contribution. So the new contribution now is this minus variable cost. That's 7.6. So that means 7.6 now. My times this, we get what? 33 what?
Okay.
So you can see now. Device, you can see. So we can. There are a lot of methods we can just use PM just to get our answer. So what is the next thing to do? Our fixed cost, have you?
Performance management.
Okay, 10,000 naira, 1,000 naira, 1,000 naira. So what's our profit? This is our profit. We have this. Our net profit. So our net. profit. So, what can we suggest now?
What can we suggest?
Now, yes, now they said determine the statement with what?
Okay, okay. Which of the three
Yes.
strategy
Mm,
should be adopted?
yes.
They should adopt strategy A now.
A, why? Because A contributed what?
The
The highest contribution with
yes,
the profit of what? 23
23 for fourth. Not
profit.
right there. Hmm. It is well. It is well in the well.
Yes, so it's just that we need
Even
to.
this one. I have to go and check again.
Huh?
I said even this one I have to go and check again, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. It's just that we need to put more effort on it. More effort on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's something that we can get. You know, our consistency in it also matters.
Yes, we keep solving when we are solving more questions, solving more questions,
Yes,
solving
yes,
more
yes,
questions.
yes, 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 yes. So, any show, man.
Okay. Nothing, so
Okay, so I think for that one now, we are able to cover up that for now. So later
yeah.
on, if we can still get another what's it called, questions like related to that in
Hmm.
our, so you can just mark it anytime you come across CVP. You can mark it in our question so that it will aid us in our pursuit for this question.
Yes, sir. Mo ti gbọ́.
Ló ṣẹlẹ̀.
Kò sí o.
It is well.
Kò sí rárá.
It is
Ṣáájú
well.
wà ní.
So let's look at it next in our next class. So sorry, class about
Okay.
our next review. So I will like you to, so
Class
the one
náà
I
ni. Mr.
um
Joseph. Wow.
I will follow the one I snapped to you, ma. Tembo.
Profitability.
So yeah, we are just to uh ensure that we get it right and we study, no, study, just study that profitability. It's about discontinue of products and making short decision. So you can easily, because at times they can just mix it up with CVP.
Okay.
Ó likely kí ẹnìkan náà join wà ní ọ̀la.
Okay.
Mm, likely kó
Ó ti ẹ̀ dábẹ́.
sorry. I can't serious. So Mama, it is well. So let's continue solving. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
So ṣebí ẹ fẹ́ ṣe you are doing CSME too,
Ẹ
ba?
ṣé sir. A máa ṣe kí la fẹ́ ṣe.
Dissertation, abi?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Okay. So let's just, because the person we are using for PM2, let's just channel it to other CSME. So maybe by tomorrow we can work on CSME. So maybe
Okay.
by from tonight to tomorrow, lórí risk. Let's start with because risk máa ń jáde dáadáa.
Okay. All right.
So we can sorry. Yes, Jesus. So we can work on it together.
All right.
Ṣé gan mọ́ mi wà o?
Sir Joseph Miller.